Welcome back to the channel Coin Master everyone to another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of United States coins and uncover the hidden treasures that might just be sitting in your pocket change right now. Today we are talking about one of the most incredible finds in modern coin collecting, the Liberty I dime 2002 D Roosevelt dime, with the famous words "In God We Trust" proudly displayed on its face. This coin has taken the coin collecting community by storm because of its unique history, surprising rarity in certain conditions, and the jaw-dropping market value that has stunned collectors and investors alike. Yes, you heard it right. The 2002 D Roosevelt dime has been known to reach values up to $58,000 in the coin market today, and in this video we are going to explore why this small but powerful coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you might be able to identify one in your own collection. Let's first step back and look at the history of the Roosevelt dime itself. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just 1 year after the death of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. He was not only one of the most influential leaders in American history, guiding the country through the Great Depression and World War II, but he was also a huge supporter of the March of Dimes, the national campaign to fight polio. In his honor, the United States Mint replaced the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt dime, and since then, the design has remained largely unchanged, symbolizing both American resilience and progress. By the year 2002, the Roosevelt dime had already been circulating for over half a century. The 2002 dimes were struck at the Denver Mint, and millions were produced for general circulation. At first glance, most people would consider these coins to be common pocket change, something you could use at the grocery store without a second thought. But here's where the story gets interesting. Among these millions of coins, a very small number were struck with such pristine quality, remarkable condition, and in some cases unique mint errors that they stand out dramatically from the rest. These are the coins that collectors and numismatists are searching for today. Now let's talk about the design details. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, you see the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, and to the left near his neck you find the national motto "In God We Trust." Just below the portrait is the year 2002, and the Denver Mint Mark D can be found to the right side of the coin. On the reverse, or back side, you have a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace on the left, and an oak branch representing strength and independence on the right. Above the torch are the words United States of America, and below it is the denomination 1 dime, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, written across the bottom. So why is this coin worth so much today? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and collector demand. The average 2002 D dime that you might find in circulation is worth just its face value, 10 cents. However, when we talk about coins in mint state condition, especially those graded by professional grading services at the highest levels such as MS67, MS68, or even MS69, the value skyrockets. These are coins that look as if they just left the mint yesterday, with full sharp details, blazing luster, and absolutely no signs of wear. Finding such a coin in circulation is like finding a needle in a haystack, and that's what makes them so valuable. Another factor that adds to the value are mint errors and varieties. Some 2002 D Roosevelt dimes have been reported with off-center strikes, double die obverse, or even unique die breaks that create dramatic markings on the coin. These error coins are often one of a kind or extremely limited, and collectors are willing to pay enormous sums to own them. In auctions, such error dimes have drawn bidding wars, driving prices up into the tens of thousands of dollars. When you combine condition rarity with error varieties, you create the perfect storm for a coin's value to reach incredible levels. Currently, the highest recorded value for a 2002 D Roosevelt dime in pristine condition is an astonishing $58,000. That's right, a coin you could easily mistake for pocket change is worth more than a brand new car, and in some cases even more than certain luxury watches or pieces of fine jewelry. This is why it's so important for collectors, enthusiasts, and even everyday people to carefully check their coins before spending them. The idea that a 10-cent coin could be life-changing is not just a fantasy, it is a reality in the world of numismatics. Imagine for a moment that you are digging through an old jar of change at home, or you get some coins back from the store, and tucked away in there is a shiny 2002D dime that looks almost perfect. At first you might ignore it, but upon closer inspection, you notice how sharp the details are, how clean the surfaces look, and how the luster still glows under the light. You decide to get it graded by a professional service, and suddenly you discover that the coin is worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, and the potential reward that keeps collectors excited year after year. But it's not just about the money. Collecting coins like the 2002D Roosevelt dime is also about preserving history, appreciating art, and connecting with a piece of America's story. Each coin is a miniature time capsule, carrying with it the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the struggles of the early 2000s, and the craftsmanship of the United States Mint. Holding such a coin in your hand is like holding a small piece of history that has survived the test of time. The next time you come across a Roosevelt dime, don't overlook it. Take a moment to inspect it closely. Look for the date, the mint mark, the details on Roosevelt's face, and the overall condition of the coin. If it's a 2002D and it appears to be in extraordinary shape, you might just be holding a hidden treasure. Even if it doesn't end up being worth $58,000, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the grade, and that is far more than its face value of 10 cents. Collectors know that modern dimes like the 2002D can become tomorrow's rare gems, and history has shown us time and again that coins once considered ordinary can later skyrocket in value as demand increases and supply decreases. The 2002D Roosevelt dime is the perfect example of why you should never underestimate the power of pocket change. So check your coin jars, your wallets, your piggy banks, and your collections, because that tiny coin you have been ignoring might just be your ticket to a small fortune. The 2002D Roosevelt dime proves that in the world of coins, the most unexpected pieces can turn out to be the most valuable. Do you want me to also create a catchy YouTube title and thumbnail text for this script to make it go even more viral? Today we are going to explore the story of the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that looks ordinary to many people but actually carries with it a rich history, a collector's dream, and a surprising market value that will leave you amazed. If you have ever held a dime in your hand and never thought much about it, let me tell you that the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime is not just a small piece of change, it is a piece of history, and in some rare conditions, it has reached values as high as $58,000 in today's coin market. Imagine finding such a treasure in circulation or tucked away in an old coin jar at home. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The Roosevelt dime first came into existence in 1946. Following the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who had led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was deeply admired for his leadership and also for his support of the March of Dimes, which was an organization dedicated to fighting polio, a disease that had affected him personally. To honor his legacy and contributions, the United States Mint replaced the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt dime, featuring his profile on the obverse. This design has continued for decades, making it one of the most enduring coin designs in U.S. history. By 1997, the dime had already become an essential part of everyday commerce, yet some specific issues like the 1997 piece stand out to collectors because of their minting details, condition, and rarity. The 1997 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these dimes were produced for general circulation, and to most people they simply blended in with the rest of their pocket change. But coin collectors know that within these millions of dimes, there are always a few special pieces that rise above the rest. Factors such as mint errors, condition, and grade can transform an ordinary dime into one worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. The Philadelphia Mint is known for its massive coin production, and sometimes small errors occur that make certain coins highly desirable. These errors could include double die strikes, off-center strikes, or other unique minting characteristics that make a coin one of a kind. When we talk about the value of the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime, most circulated examples are only worth their face value of 10 cents. But in uncirculated condition, especially in mint state grades like MS66, MS67, or higher. The value begins to climb significantly. Collectors seek out coins with full bands on the torch on the reverse side, a detail that shows complete striking and sharpness. When a coin is preserved with original luster, no scratches, and full details, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some rare examples in pristine condition have even been auctioned for astonishing sums, with the most exceptional reaching a staggering market value of $58,000. This kind of price is achieved when rarity, demand, and top-level grading all align to create a perfect storm in the numismatic market. Now let's dive deeper into why coins like the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime can be so valuable. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is not just a hobby, it is a passion that has been around for centuries. Collectors value coins for their history, design, and uniqueness. A dime minted in 1997 might seem modern compared to coins from the 1800s, but collectors are increasingly interested in modern rarities. The reason is that high-grade examples are extremely difficult to find in circulation today. Think about it, coins that have been in circulation since 1997 have been handled by millions of people, used in vending machines, and tossed around in change drawers. Finding one that has survived all these years without a scratch or blemish is nearly impossible. That is why uncirculated examples straight from mint sets or rolls are highly sought after. The story of the Roosevelt dime also connects to the broader history of American coinage. The dime has always been an important denomination, small but powerful, representing the economic activity of ordinary Americans. From buying candy decades ago to being part of daily transactions today, the dime has touched countless lives. The 1997 dime specifically marks a period in the late 1990s when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes while still producing coins for mass circulation. These transitional years often create coins that later gain attention for their quirks and quality differences. Collectors who specialize in Roosevelt dimes know that certain years and mint marks command higher premiums. The Philadelphia Mint coins, marked with the P, often produce some of the most intriguing finds. For example, the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime is famous among enthusiasts not just for its general availability, but for those exceptional gems that have been preserved in untouched condition. If graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, these coins can be certified at ultra-high levels, which immediately drives up their value at auctions and private sales. The fascinating part about this is that you could have one of these valuable dimes sitting unnoticed in your collection, or even in your change jar. Many people discard dimes as insignificant, yet one coin can make the difference between a regular pocket full of change and a life-changing discovery. Just picture yourself finding a 1997 P. Roosevelt dime in flawless mint state condition and learning that it is worth tens of thousands of dollars. That is the thrill of coin collecting, the possibility of hidden treasures waiting to be found. The coin market today is thriving, with collectors from all over the world investing in rare and high-grade coins. Auctions often bring incredible results, and coins like the 1997 P. Roosevelt dime in top condition can spark bidding wars. The excitement around such coins is not just about their monetary value but also about their cultural and historical significance. Owning a rare Roosevelt dime means holding a piece of American history in your hands, a connection to the legacy of Franklin Roosevelt, and a testament to the artistry of U.S. coinage. So the next time you come across a Roosevelt dime, pay close attention. Look for the details, the mint mark, the condition, and any unusual features. The 1997 P. Roosevelt dime is more than just a 10-cent piece. It represents decades of history, the story of a great president, and the possibility of hidden wealth. With a current market value that has reached $58,000 in rare conditions, it is truly a coin that deserves respect and attention. If you are new to coin collecting, start by examining the coins you already have. Get a magnifying glass, learn the designs, study the mint marks, and check for errors. You never know when you might stumble upon a 1997 P. Roosevelt dime that could change your financial future. For experienced collectors, this coin is already on the radar as one of the modern treasures worth hunting. It proves that even coins from the late 20th century can hold extraordinary value when preserved in the right condition, The Roosevelt dime is a small coin with a big story. And the 1997 P issue is one that continues to amaze collectors with its surprising worth. From its origins honoring a beloved president to its role in modern numismatics, it remains a symbol of American history and a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry the greatest value. Always remember, coins are not just money, they are pieces of art, pieces of history, and sometimes, they are priceless treasures hiding in plain sight. Would you like me to also create a YouTube thumbnail title and description for this 1997 P Roosevelt dime video so it trends even more? Today you are about to discover a story that could change the way you look at every coin you come across, because the 1994 P Roosevelt dime is not just a simple 10-cent coin, it is a piece of American history. It is a coin that has a fascinating story tied to it, and for the right collector it carries a market value that can reach up to $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a coin that most people would casually hand over at a store without even looking twice. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, when it was first introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was loved by millions for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and for his tireless efforts to fight polio through the March of Dimes campaign, so it made perfect sense that his portrait would appear on the dime. This was a way to both honor his legacy and keep his contributions alive in the daily lives of Americans. The 1994 P dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the letter P on the coin stands as the mintmark. Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of these dimes, so at first glance it might seem like they are too common to be worth anything, but this is where collectors and experts remind us that rarity is not always about low mintage. Sometimes it is about condition, it is about errors, it is about finding that one coin that is preserved in a way that makes it shine above the rest. Most 1994 P Roosevelt dimes in circulation are only worth their face value of 10 cents. You could search through rolls of coins and find dozens without realizing it, but a few exceptional examples can change everything. Coins that are graded at the highest levels, like MS-68 or MS-69 with stunning luster, sharp strikes, and no visible marks, are extremely rare, and these are the ones that can bring jaw-dropping prices at auction and in private sales. Imagine holding a dime in your hand that most people would ignore, yet it could pay for a brand new car or even contribute to a down payment on a house. That is the magic of coin collecting, and that is why people around the world are obsessed with hunting for these hidden gems. The 1994 P dime has been sold in some cases for thousands, and for the finest examples collectors are willing to pay up to $58,000, because in the world of numismatics quality is king. Now let's talk about circulation and history. These coins were released during the 1990s, when the U.S. economy was growing fast, technology was booming, and the internet was just starting to connect the world. Millions of these dimes passed through the hands of ordinary Americans. They were used for pay phones, vending machines, and everyday purchases. Most of them were spent and re-spent until they became worn down, but the small number that were carefully saved or accidentally preserved in rolls and sets became treasures over time. One of the reasons collectors chase after the 1994 P dime is also because of its place in modern U.S. coinage. It represents an era when coins were still a major part of daily transactions, unlike today when digital payments dominate. Back then, coins and bills were used constantly, so finding one that survived without scratches or dings is like finding a needle in a haystack. Coins also add another layer of excitement to the story. Certain 1994 P Roosevelt dimes may have been struck off center, may have doubled dies, or may show planchet errors. These types of mistakes make coins far more valuable because they are unique, and collectors love anything that stands out. Imagine a dime that was supposed to be perfect but ended up with a visible flaw. Suddenly that flaw transforms it into a rarity that could fetch thousands. The phrase "In God We Trust" along with liberty and the image of Roosevelt's profile makes this dime a strong reminder of American values and history. Each word and detail on the coin carries weight and meaning, and when you realize that a single dime with these familiar inscriptions could be worth up to $58,000, it gives the coin a whole new aura of importance. So why is the market value so high for some examples? The truth is that collectors and investors know that coins like this are not only historical artifacts but also safe stores of wealth. Owning a coin that few others have in top condition is like owning a masterpiece. Painting it is rare, it is valuable, and its worth only grows over time, especially as more and more collectors enter the hobby. and start looking for key dates and high-grade coins from modern decades. If you are wondering whether you might have one of these in your collection or in your loose change, the first thing you should do is check the date, and the mintmark 1994 with 8p is what you are searching for. Then check the condition. Is it shiny, crisp, and almost untouched? If so, you may want to get it graded by a professional coin grading service, because that step can reveal whether you are holding a dime that could change your life. Stories of people finding valuable coins in ordinary rolls or jars of change are not uncommon, and that is what makes this hobby so thrilling. Every coin you touch might be worth far more than you think, and the 1994 P. Roosevelt dime proves that the smallest denomination in your pocket can sometimes carry the biggest surprise. From honoring the legacy of Franklin Roosevelt, to circulating through millions of hands across America, to being preserved as a rare treasure, the journey of the 1994 P dime is nothing short of amazing. And while most will forever remain worth only 10 cents, the few that rise above in pristine condition can demand prices of up to $58,000, making them one of the modern marvels of U.S. coin collecting. So the next time you receive change, do not just toss it aside. Take a closer look. That shiny dime, within God we trust, liberty, and Roosevelt's profile might just be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered, and who knows, you could be the next person to turn a 10-cent coin into a $58,000 treasure right from your pocket. Would you like me to also write you an SEO-optimized YouTube title and description for this 1994 P dime video so it can trend more easily and attract collectors?